you the ROI from AI. And Dr. Jeff is in the building tonight.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of AI Hustle with Dr. Jeff. I am your host, Dr. Jeff, and we got a special guest in the building today, Miss Jevata. And if you could please let us know what you do, your business, and tell us about yourself.
Hello. I am Jevata Crawford. I am the founder of Project Move and the creator of the Moving Method, where we take the stress and the strain out of moving because it's a spiraling sport where you can get wound up and think, "Oh my gosh, what are these boxes going to do to me?" But I want to tell you that the boxes are the easy part. It's the before and after that we help you untwine yourself from the ravel. So I'm excited to talk to Dr. Jeff to see how he can incorporate some of his fantastic wisdom into the moving method and the moving business in general. So
Well, thank
let's
you.
let's
Yes,
get
excited about
excited.
that.
Yay.
Yes, this is going to be a good one. So, look, if you got a book, your framework,
Yes.
body of knowledge, you're still quite not monetizing it like you think you should, this is the episode for you. So make sure you watch this. And we're
Yes.
going to take
Yes.
the right IP and we're going to build a front door to the business live right now. So let's jump into it. But I have some questions first.
Okay.
So if you could first kind of tell us a little bit about what caused you to start this, with the background of the business, the history of it, kind of give us the lay of the land of the moving method. How'd that come
Um, Okay, thank you, Jeff. So we have been in business for a little bit over 10 years, and
a
we
decade?
started. Yes, we've been doing this for over a decade, and we're learning every year. Every year, I say we get better, and we get better tools. So thank you, Jeff, for exposing us to some better tools. But what I wanted to say is that we started this business because we got laid off. How many people have actually started a business because they got laid off and they were like, I ain't working for nobody, no more, no more. And so we got an opportunity to start this business and we were very excited about it. But like all businesses that start, sometimes you start as a service provider. You start a business so that you can give yourself a job. And you don't necessarily understand what that means until you start to scale. And then you wonder, do I have systems in place? So what we started with is that we help people who were downsizing, relocating, estate clearing. We were doing the tactical work. We were getting it done. We were showing people that we could help remove some of the stress that they were experiencing while they were going through one of the most stressful times of their life. And so we have been doing that work. And then people would always say, but I don't understand what you do. So I got a coach, which I tell everybody, if you don't know something, get a coach. There go. Why Jeff is so important is that you get a coach and they said, well, why don't you write it down? And so I wrote a book. Last October, I published a book. But do you know what happens when a person who started a business, this is like a story, a person who starts a business who's a service provider who realizes that they have more than service provider in there, they sometimes call themselves founder, write a book. You don't know how to tell people you wrote a book. You just like to say, get my book. It's so great. Buy my book. And what I found is that I wrote a wonderful book. I know that everybody says that about their own book, but I'm going to say it too, because why would I say anything different? I wrote a wonderful book and it introduces you to the moving method. The moving method is not just how we do work, it's how you can move and how you frame yourself so that you're ready to take it on. And what we learned is that the moving method is not just for physical movement. It's for all the types of movement that you're doing. So if you want to lose weight, that's a move and it includes movement. Say you get a new job, that's movement. Say you get a new baby and you got to figure out how this is going to work through your house. That's movement. The moving method is here so that you can understand what the right questions are to ask at the beginning of it. So as you're moving through it, that you actually learn something. And so the G in moving stands for grace. And it reminds you that as you're moving, give yourself grace because no, you don't know the answers, but you can ask better questions. And so then we're here and I'm working through how to put all these pieces together to to really sit in that founder seat of what project move, the moving method, moving in place. By the way, did I tell you the name of the book was Moving in Place? You can get it on Amazon. It's available everywhere. And
Yeah. Okay.
idea, the idea is that you have to move through these different iterations. And sometimes it just takes one word, and sometimes it takes a method to help you get through those. Is that what you wanted to hear, Jeff?
Yeah, that was perfect. Thank you. So that was the history. So decade movement, like decade of helping people move, like physically move boxes,
Mhm.
move in the world, and then that inspired you to write the book on your heart, which is moving is not just physically moving things, but
Mhm.
moving throughout life, like making decisions, leadership decisions, and decision discipline. And then now in this space, as because you still got both of those, and you're speaking as well. So I've seen you all over
Yes.
from a speaking engagement standpoint. So we got an
Yes.
author, a speaker, um, business owner from like a movie over a decade of experience. Um, so the question that I ask is generating revenue a priority of you?
Generating revenue is such a priority. And but the interesting thing is that when you're in a business, I think sometimes you're afraid to say it. Like you're like, I'm a service provider. I'm here to help people. I want to make sure that the world is better because I do that. But now I'm understanding that better definition of what a founder is versus just someone who's working in the business. Because when you're working in the business, you make money, you don't think about revenue versus your expenses. You're just excited that money's coming in the door. And so now I want to step into that new role of saying, I'm a founder. I have a method. I have a book. I'm a speaker. I provide services. How do I put all those things together? Jeff, do you think you could help me?
We're gonna see. That is what we are here for. So I am going to sign in to my Claude account and wait. I think we're good. So we're there. So let's jump on in. Yeah. All right.
So just
So
to let you know, I'm on this call, but I'm going to be taking some paper notes as well because I want to make sure I remember what we
okay,
talked
yes,
about.
do that. That's good for the brain, hand, memory system. But also, what I say is, if you, I'm going to be recording this too. I'm going to turn my otter on, OTTER, um, so that we can get those notes as well, and I can focus on you 100%. Which is what I tip for those people who follow me. I typically start with the AI note taker. So AI note taker is where we will want to start with this, and I like to do that for any type of business, whether it be internal meeting or if it's an external meeting or it's a meeting with a vendor, because we have Jevata on here who, like I said, author, founder, so she has the business, speaking engagements. So it's from a discovery call standpoint, she got all kinds of people in her in discovery calls she could be taking, partnerships, or discovery calls for the actual service business, or whether it be nonprofit organizations or for-profit organizations for her to inspire their people. Every one of those calls requires a different approach. And if you have your transcript, or you have Otter going, or Zoom has it, and Google Meet, there's a lot of different options. But having a AI note taker specifically, well, now when that meeting is finished, she can put it inside of Claude or ChatGPT and ask questions. Hey, how did I do in that meeting? What was the goal supposed to be? Was I able to achieve that outcome? How close was I achieving that outcome? What's my follow-up look like? And I'm gonna say that again. What's my follow-up look like? I'm gonna say that one more time. What does my follow-up look like for that particular engagement? Because that's where it drops a lot for founders, especially if you have a small team, which I believe, Johnny, you have a small team right now.
I have a
So,
small team right now. Yes.
yep. So for those with a small team, even if you're not just one, if you just have a small team, it's sometimes you fall through the cracks. But if you have the transcript, and the transcript now can, like for instance, Otter has a connection that goes directly with Claude, and this is something that a lot of people don't know. It's come out in the past 2 weeks. You can directly attach your Otter to your Claude to where As soon as that meeting is finished, now you can talk to it. Or Fireflies, Phantom, Read AI. Check to see if your particular connector's in there. But that's where I would say the first thing from a foundation standpoint, Otter. So that's where I would start. Um, Next piece is, so we have this here. I'm going to, so because I've met with Jevata before, I'm going to, and I have my connectors attached to it. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Um, so you can see the value of it because that's the relevant context for it. I'm using Claude today. That's going to be what we're going to use to drive. But once again, this works with ChatGPT or it works with Gemini. I will say ChatGPT is probably a little bit better than Gemini for this use case because of the connectors. And the connectors are a little bit easier with ChatGPT than it is Gemini. All right, I'm going to talk to my AI. What's going on, Claude? Hello, Claude. Can you hear me? Hello. Claude, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, Claude. All right, now you can. So, what's going on? This is Dr. Jeff. I am on live. I am live with Jevata Crawford, with AI Hustle, with Dr. Jeff, and I would like you to please look up Jevata's business. I'm gonna put her post her full LinkedIn profile here so you can know who I'm talking about. I have the transcript going as well, but it was I put it on late, so so we don't have all the things that she talked about. She gave a great intro for herself, but I'm going to grab her LinkedIn because that also is going to serve as relevant context, so you know, one, the proper spelling of her name, and then also how we can help her. And what we're doing today is we're helping her generate revenue. We are focusing on generate revenue. She does a multitude of things. She has a moving business. She's an author. She's a speaker, and there's probably other things, ways that we're missing that she could possibly generate revenue as well. But where's our focus? Where should we look at? Ask any questions that you have for clarity. Thank you very much.
So I just want to note that he talks to his AI, and that is, like, so there are two trains of thought, right? That you can either talk or you can type. And so do you have a preference that you like?
Do I have a preference? Yes, the preference is talking. Talk to your AI if you can, because there's a few reasons on why I recommend talking to it. While I pull up your LinkedIn, the first reason why I recommend it is because this isn't even the one. The first reason why I recommend talking to your AI is the stream of consciousness that you'll be able to capture when you talk to it. Hold on, let me change this one out here so we can just be me and you talking. Yeah. So the stream of consciousness that you're able to get out if you talk to it, as opposed to if you're typing, you may forget what you're saying, or you may just lose your train of thought. So that's one. Two is the nuance. So there is so much nuance that is like gold for the AI that we often think is not important, not relevant, and it couldn't be further from the truth. Is extremely relevant. So us having that, like speaking to it, allows you to get to that. And then third, it's just easier. It's just faster, more efficient if you're just talking to it as opposed to typing. If you type, then which some people do, but you just paraphrase and you just leave out all the stuff that you need. So that's why I say talk to your AI if you can help it, as opposed to typing. So now that we have this up, I am going to grab. So one thing I like to do is just make sure that the about section is fully open. So now I've done that. I'm going to copy in full screen. So Control A, copy, and then now we're going to go back to Claude, and we're going to paste. So now Claude has the full trend. It has everything on Jevata from LinkedIn, and it has what I've said in talking to it. So now with that, we're going to go ahead and submit it and see what we got.
So this is interesting, and I will tell you, it's a fun place to be, but it does provide a little bit of like uneasiness as you are looking at your profile, you're going, okay, it's going to now tell me some where my blind spots are, which is very helpful as a business owner because you sometimes have your head so far down into the work that you can omit your blind spots. So it's that place between invigorating and terrifying. Just
Yeah, a little bit. No, but don't worry, we all family here. We all family here in LinkedIn land and YouTube land. Don't worry, you good. You good. All right, so let's look and see. Got her. Jevata Crawford, MBA, McCungy, founder of Project Move, author of Moving in Place Morning Boxes, creator of the Moving Method, strong corporate change management background from her Air Products years, plus an MBA in finance from Kelly. Whew, that's a lot, right? Like all the stuff that you did. So let's let that breathe. Let's give that the power it deserves. All right, so that was important to put in that LinkedIn because we wanted all that. All that wasn't. You bring so much to the table. We want to make sure that the AI has. All right, so now the honest read before we pick a lane. 5 revenue streams, and they are not equal. Most people in the spot quietly bleed energy into the lowest margin one, while the real money sits ignored. Let me name them by economics, not by how much you enjoy them. Now you gotta tell it, Claude. You don't know me. You don't know how much I enjoy stuff. But let's keep going. So the cash engine is the move management, estate clearing, downsize, relocation. It's the business. It's high ticket, high trust, high emotion. Estate clearings and senior downsizings in Lehigh Valley run thousands per engagement. And the demographic here is aging fast, which you already know. And you've been in this business for a decade. So that's we know it. Next, leverage play. The moving method, which is B2B change management. So you ran enterprise change management at Air Product across global teams. Your personal transition framework maps cleanly into organizational transition. That's corporate training and consulting money, far higher ceiling than moving boxes. So now we got that. That's the leverage. Then we got the authority builders and the speaking. These don't pay the rent. They feed the other two. A book is a business card that makes people trust you instantly because they see that you put the work in and you're a thought leader in that space. Plus, if you look at what you've done already in that space, that puts you far above a typical moving company because you have all these other angles and you got the corporate aspect too to it. Then we have the
like the little download, that thing I've been playing with. Yeah.
So then we have the attention sync, and that's the downloads. So now to clear 5,000 at $7, you need roughly 700 sales. So you got 1,100 followers, almost 12. With that, it says the math doesn't work. Lovely brand expression and not the best revenue product. Right now, it's not where your recent posting energy is going, but it's not the strongest dollar in the building. So it speaks to what you've been posting on, but okay, cool. No worries. Good to know. So now we got the questions because in the prompting, I specifically asked, I said, hey, ask me questions for clarity. That was in here. So here's the questions that I asked it to ask. And for those out in LinkedIn and Zoom, LinkedIn and YouTube land, it's very important to ask that question. It's very important to have relevant context and then to say the things that I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. So ask me those questions. So I'm going to ask you, how fast and how much? So what's the revenue number you need and by when? Cash in 60 to 30 days, 30 to 60 days is different than building something bigger over 6 months. So if we just stop there and ask that question, let's say for the end of the year, how much are you trying to make?
Before the end of the year, probably at least 100,000.
Okay, thank you. So we got that. So I'm gonna tell it that. And then next is what actually pays the bills today. So roughly, which of these 5 streams is generating real money? So of these 5, which one actually bringing money right now?
The first one.
The first one, okay. And then third, do you still want to be hands-on in the moves, or do you want out of the physical labor?
That one I haven't 100% decided on, but I would like to work out of the physical labor.
Okay, so that's what we're going to say. I'm going to tell it that. Okay, Claude. Okay. Claude. Hello. Okay, great. So, all right. So, answer your questions. So for the how fast and how much, we're looking at the rest of this year. So it's literally the last day of the half of the year. So June 30th. So what does the second half look like? So and Jevata said 100K for the second half of the year. Next, what actually pays the bills today? That is the first one. So the first one is what pays the bills today, the moving company. And then as far as being hands-on the moves, she's not sure, but right now she's looking to start moving out. So what does that look like as far as moving out of the physical labor space? I believe she still wants the company, but she doesn't necessarily want to be the one that is like doing all of the stuff for the company. Is that correct? Yeah. So she wants to have her time. She wants that time freed up to where money is still coming in. Contracts are still being had, but she don't got to go to the site to make sure that all things happen. That's what she wants to move towards. That's not the case it is right now, but that's what she wants to move towards. And also when you're coming up with this plan, I need, what is the offer, right? So you can look at her actual site, see if there's pricing on there, how much she's charging, what should she be charging, how does she get to this 100K by the end of the year? And once again, if you have any questions that you need answered, you can go ahead and ask. But based off what you know, if you can answer them, you can go ahead and do that. All right. So that's me just talking straight to the AI. And then now it's going to come up with the answer. So 100K in 6 months, move management is the cash engine. Wants to graduate out of physical labor while keeping the revenue and contracts flowing. That's a clear target. Let me pull up our actual site and pricing before I build the offer. So the numbers are real and not guesses. Pricing model is the first problem I see. Okay. On-site says the clients can pay hourly or negotiate a package price after a complimentary consultation. Hourly building is exactly the trap that keeps you chained to job site. You can't buy your time back when you're selling your time. Let me grab the industry benchmark so that the new pricing isn't a guess. So now we're going to stop. While it's doing that, I'm just going to real quick stop for a second and talk. This piece is big. So we're asking it to go on and give us their advice. So it's doing research. It's going to go out and find the industry average. And that's helpful because we want to have a benchmark of like, hey, what are the others around me doing? If you go on to Google, you're not going to get that. Like you gotta try to put that together yourself and by different websites. And you don't know if these websites are reputable or not and trying to put the stuff together. So at the end of the day, you're like, man, I'm going to spend 2 hours trying to come up with this research and I don't even know if it's real. As opposed to Claude asking that question and poking holes. That's the beauty of being able to get the answers faster because now you can poke holes faster. You can say, hey, is this real information? Is this relevant to me and what I do? Is this actually something that's going to be able to convert? Are we comparing apples to apples? Because there's lots of moving companies. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's the type of movement that you do. So when the answers come back is when we poke holes. So for those out there, and once again, YouTube, LinkedIn land, don't think that whatever comes back is the end all be all. This is the process. This is how we do it. We're asking the questions, we're poking holes, and we're pushing it. Like, you know, it did not pull any punches when it gave that response, saying that
it did not.
Okay, cool, thank you. That's what I want, but I'm not gonna pull no punches either. When I come back at you, right? So that's the kind of energy that you wanna have with it. All right, so now we're gonna bring it back up on the stage here.
So there are actually more than one guest. There are two guests on here.
Yes. it is Claude. It is Jevata. Okay, so pricing model. Okay, we'll talk about that. All right, got the real numbers now, and I can build this. Here's the situation. Straight. Right now, your site lets people pay hourly and negotiate a package after free consultation. That single sentence is why you're stuck in the job site and 100K feels far away. She never said that, but it's okay. Hourly billing does two things that work against everything you just told me you want. Capture income, the numbers you personally can stand in somebody's house and make sure the product you cannot buy back. Right, we said that. So then now it says industry context. Most senior move managers run $1,200 to $5,500 for a full project with hourly around $50 to $115. A lot of solo entrepreneurs undercharge because they have no brand. You have an MBA, trademark method, a published book, and top-rated reviews. You should be at the ceiling of the market and above it, not building like the hourly organizer. That's what Claude said. I didn't say that. So I'm just saying that's what Claude said. Okay, so you take it up, Claude. So now this is the offer ladder, 3 packages, no hourly. Tier 1, the move plan. Now, me personally, I don't like ranges. Tell me how much I should be charging. So that's what I ask. When we talk about 1,500 to 20, which is it? What should I do? Is it 15? Is it 25? Is it 2,000? What should I do? That's what I like to say. So that's kind of pushback that I'll probably give because I want to know. I want to know the number and I want to know why that number. So is that okay for me to say that to it?
It is definitely okay because this is, I will tell you. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, one of the biggest challenges that I find as a founder is saying how much I should charge. And it's not that you don't necessarily think that you're worth it. You start to think, I can't charge this much because, will anybody pay me for that? And then you start all the personal stuff that's in your head. So to have something that steps away from it would be very helpful, to have something that until you have the personal belief in your own business that can give you to say, okay, look, other people are doing this. This is not you making this up out of your head. And so when and so that you can have something to stand behind, because one of my favorite quotes that I like to use is that sometimes I have to take your belief in me until I have the belief in myself. And so so this is to help me to develop that belief in my own pricing model, because this is where I struggle, because I'm like, if I say that much, will they all say no? And the answer is not no. They will not say all say no.
They will
And
not all say no. You are correct. And I love how you did. That's why I pulled it down to say thank you for saying that, because that's something that many people go through, myself included. Imposter syndrome, especially if you come from corporate America. I don't actually know any people, real life people, who came from corporate America, started a business, and did not go through some type of imposter syndrome. I think it's part of it. I really do think it's just like. And the thing is, how fast can you get through it? Yes. How fast can you get through the imposter syndrome? Like, I feel like I don't think there's a way around it. But I do think it's how fast can you get through that imposter syndrome? And I believe that using the AI helps with that, because one, it does the research so you can see what other people are doing. And a lot of times we might believe in our own service, what we sell from our own pocket, thinking like, well, I would not pay for this particular thing. One reason why you would not pay is because you have the knowledge. So no, you would not pay for that because you have the knowledge. So why would you pay for that? But you sure would pay for another thing that you don't have the knowledge for, and you have in many different ways. And when we say that to ourselves, then we're like, okay, let's see. And another thing I will say while we're on this topic, for those who might be speaking to somebody, as far as pricing, I look at the pricing every quarter. Look at your pricing every quarter and see what it is. See if it's time to increase. Talk to Claude about it. I'm not telling you to increase your prices every quarter. I'm telling you to look at them every quarter and see if that's worth it. Have a conversation with your AI. Ask some tough questions, because you might need to improve. See what's happening in the market. See what value you're giving. See how much in that quarter, what testimonials and what value you've been able to give your clients, because you may be shortchanging yourself. But you won't know until you actually do that analysis of it.
So just to comment on that first part where you have the move plan portion, I have, and I'm going to say still currently, because I haven't fully embraced it yet, I've been giving that away for free, because that was just part of how I do business. And now I'm learning that that's part of the intellectual property that I bring to the business. And so that people have to understand that because I provide that overview and that service and that, that consultative work, that's part of what you paid for. And so a lot of times, so like when they start going, oh, well, I think you cost too much, or different things, it was that I was not able to express the value for myself, because again, what you were saying is that these are things that I do naturally. That I don't find them difficult, but that does not make them any less valuable.
That is correct. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and look at here now. Okay, so
because if you look at the tier 1 move plan pricing, you see that It is my brain on paper. When you
Yep.
think about that, I gave that away for free.
Yep.
Well,
Once again,
I mean,
I will say, like, I feel like we all we do, I sure did a lot of gave a lot of IP away for free in the beginning, just not knowing, because to me it was like, this is basic. Like this is, but it's not basic. It took me years, or it took me however long to get to the point where I feel like it's basic, right? Like, so that is the same with you. Like, you're able to do this stuff, and this may be small to you, but to someone who is overwhelmed with moving and they don't this ain't their life, it's not basic. It's valuable and should be part of the offer. All right, so we're gonna get the actual numbers on it, but let's just kind of look at it. So that's the move plan, which is your brain on paper, decision framework, timeline, room by room plan, all of that. And then sidebar, if you have Otter going while you're talking to the people, it's a lot easier to get that move plan. Because,
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
because you got the transcript. So
Yes.
another hack on that. Next, the managed move, 5 to 8, 8,500, done for you, downsizing or relocation. Your crew does the boxes, you do the plan and oversight, and then tier 3, estate 75 to 15. That's the big checks. They're tied to a house that's about to be sold, which matters because there's money in the estate to pay you, and the realtor and attorney both need house emptied and listable fast. Top of the range for full clear outs. So then, how you hit 100K by December? That's 16.7 a month, and the mix will be 6 estate clearings, 8 managed moves. That right there is 100K from 14 projects. Now you're like, okay, yeah, easier said than done, obviously. So that's where you would use AI to help. Hey, where am I getting these estate plannings from, clearings from? Where am I getting these managed moves from? And now that will take us to the next part, which would be the marketing piece. But you can't do the marketing piece unless you clear on your offer piece. Because that is what the marketing is marketing. It's marketing the offer. So you have to be clear as to that, as what the offer is going to be, and feel good about it, so that when you get those discovery calls, now you know how to prep, and then you know how to convert. So I am going to send this to you, Miss Jevati.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, so I'm going to send that to you. Do you have any questions on this, the start of this plan, the preliminary part?
No, this is
Share.
this is clarity, and I feel like we got here because we asked better questions.
Yeah, I like it. Yes, absolutely. So we got here because of the questions, and we got here because of the transcript, because you already gave, or the transcript, I'm sorry, the context. So this right here was from your LinkedIn. We don't get here as fast without this. We don't get here without you answering the questions where I said ask questions for clarity, and then you gave the answers to these questions. You don't get here this fast. So having the right context and giving the answers is how you get here, and then you will continue it as we move forward. So how I'm able to share this chat is on the top right hand corner, and ChatGPT has this too. You click share, create a link. So now this link I'm going to put inside. Oh well, I'm actually just going to text you. But you can usually we'll put inside like the Zoom chat. You can put that in there, but I am going to text it so that you have it live, and I didn't forget. So, so you got the chat there. All right. So, Mr. Vadi, please tell
Yes.
us, tell the people out there how they can find you if they need some help with decision making, if they need some help moving, if they want some inspiration to their organization from a speaking engagement around decision. How do they get a hold of you?
So you can find me on LinkedIn. You saw my LinkedIn profile, and thank you for pulling that up. I'm also on Facebook as well as Instagram. And on Instagram, you can find me under Jevata Crawford. And on Facebook, you can find me under Jevata Crawford or Project Move Organizing Services. And I hope you reach out. It's fun over there. Sometimes we have good conversations, but the best part is that we're growing and we're moving forward.
Excellent, outstanding. And if you would like to have your business worked up, If you like to be a contestant,
A contestant.
You like to be a
You know, I did always want to be on a game show, so
right.
just let you know.
I need to do that. You want to be a guest on AI Hustle with Dr. Jeff, just reach out to me. Or if you want this done for your business, you want to know what this looks like on a one-on-one basis, then you can get on the calendar. Also, you can join the community, free community, school.com, SKOOL, type in PRISM AI Consultants, and you can join the 625 people in there now, learning how to use AI every single day in your business, best practices so that you can reach your goals, save time, make revenue, and make your life easier. And with that being said, thank you everybody for watching. And if you can, be nice to yourself. Have a great day. Adios.
Bye.
Sound the car engine turning off. Keys jingling, deep exhale. 8:55 a.m. same parking spot. White coat in the back seat.
Welcome to Farmageddon, don't lose your mind. 4 meters running, you're running out of time. Stress going up and your safety going down. One wrong feel and then shut the whole thing down. Farmageddon, Farmageddon, bet you won't survive this shit. Number 7, Farmageddon, bet you won't survive this shift. Number 7. Drive through beeping, line 3 on hold. Corporate wants some metrics, do what you're told. Student tech is panicking, drop the vial. Waiting bin is packed, overflowing down the aisle. Hydrocodone, metformin, lisinopril. Verify the dose of somebody getting ill. Combo streak is building, don't break the chain. One more fill, and I'm back in the game. Welcome to Farmageddon, don't lose your mind. 4 meters running, you're running out of time. Stress going up and your safety going down. One wrong fill and they shut the whole thing down. Farmageddon, bet you won't survive this shit. Number 7.